If you're a man who's at least 20 pounds overweight, you've lost the weight in the past and you've gained it back repeatedly, then you are in the right place. In this video, I'm going to talk about my free AI meal plan generator, where you can get it, and how to use it. If you're wondering who this ninja is, my name is Elliot Hulse. I'm a master's level strongman strength coach. I've been making men strong again on YouTube since 2007. I'm the OG, real GOAT up in this place, and I have just become your new favorite YouTuber. This is your favorite YouTube channel for shredding fat and getting lean permanently. Stick around. I have gained and lost weight repeatedly at least 5 times over the course of my career here on YouTube. You can go back, you can look at my videos, you can see the carnage. It's been terrible. About a year ago, I discovered that my insurance company wanted to drop me from the policy because they said I was too damn obese to cover me and I was a risk. That's when I hit rock bottom and I decided to turn it around and get lean for the very last time. And now I'm dedicated to helping you shred fat permanently. Everything I'm going to talk about is available to you for free in alphaschool.ai. We are the world's only transformation school specializing in permanent fat loss for men who keep gaining it back. It's all free. Just go to the website, log in, and get started right away. Let's begin with the problem. Problem number 1. There's a lot of confusing information out there about calories and macros, a ton. And it just gets worse and worse every day with every new influencer coming out with a brand new diet, brand new plan, a brand new reason why you need to cut out carbs, you need to cut out fat, you need to cut out all foods and just breathe air and eat sunshine. And if you think I'm bullshitting, it's true. There are people, they call themselves sun eaters. They eat the fucking sun. That's how they nourish themselves. Look it up. So if you think it's confusing, it only gets more confusing the more you look around. I want to simplify shit for you. Also, you're probably overpaying for custom meal plans from so-called nutritionists and trainers online. These guys are charging you for shit that AI can do for you for free, and AI will even do it better. And my Alpha Macro GPT is the best AI meal plan generator out there. In fact, it's the only one I even know of. I don't think anybody else is doing this. And if they do have it, they're probably charging you to get access to it. I'm giving it to you for free. Another problem you're going to deal with is that those free online calculators that people are giving away, it's cool. I'm happy they're doing that. They're helping you out, but they're dumb. Started using AI, you realize that even Google is dumb these days. If you're afraid of AI, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be today. And if you are still afraid of AI, then I will lump you in the same category as people that were afraid of the steam engine in the 1800s or people who were afraid of the television 100 years ago. Grow up and start using AI. Stop using calculators. They're clunky and they're dumb and they don't customize for you. Not like mine. I'll show you. And then the final problem, we've spoken about this several times, extreme diets. If you have gained and lost weight repeatedly, it's probably because you've done any number of carnivore, keto, vegan, extreme fasting diets. And the fact is that if you're doing that, it's probably because you're lazy. And I know that I resisted calorie counting and macro tracking and trying to calculate and get all this shit straight because I figured if I just eat meat, well, then I'll just get lean. It worked for a little while and then it backfired. So do the work, which is not even work because I'm showing you how to do it here with AI. But you can give up the whole idea that you need to do something extreme and be a big boy and track your shit. Now that we cover the problems, let's talk about the possibilities. Possibility number 1. It can be very simple. We want to use the most basic equation that's been used for the longest time in order to get the starting calories for you to lose weight. It's actually very simple. You don't have to do anything extreme. I'm going to show you how you can do it without you actually having to do it. AI will do it for you, but so you trust me, it's based on the equation of getting your basal metabolic rate, which I'll tell you what that means in a moment, times your activity factor, I'll tell you what that means in a moment, minus a deficit, and we'll talk about that, and that means you get your calories at the end of that. Also, the other possibility is you can create endless free custom meal plans with this. From soup to nuts, you get your calories, you get your macros, you get your metabolic type, I'll tell you what that means in a moment too, which is optional. You also get your meal plan, just putting a few simple prompts inside my GPT. The next thing is the next possibility is you can use AI to get 4-dimensional nutritional support. Meaning, like, if you use a calculator, a calorie calculator, all it's going to give you is your calories and your macros. But with this GPT, you can ask questions and it's going to give you answers that are specific to your situation. It's smart, it's not dumb. And you can easily adjust your meal plans based on result. You don't need to go back to your trainer. You don't need to go back to your nutritionist. You can literally just use this and it will give you endless meal plans that will support you at no matter what stage you are in the process. So it's pretty damn awesome. So let's talk about the path. What are we gonna do? You're gonna join Alpha School for free because that's where you're gonna get this. You're gonna get the Alpha Macro GPT. I'm gonna show you how to use it in a minute. And you're gonna create your custom meal plans, lock in, and get lean for life. Let's dive in. I'll show you how to use it. So real quick, when you go to Alpha School and you click this button here, Alpha Trainer DIY, you're gonna walk through the Get Locked In, Stay Locked In, Celebrate Wins courses. Within the Stay Locked In guide, all you gotta do, you click the free document. Inside the document, it'll tell you everything you need to do in order to do what we do, which is based on 4 micro habits of movement, muscle, macros, and metrics. But when you look at the macros, in order to get your macros, you click this button here, and it's gonna open Alpha Macro GPT. I'm gonna walk through Alpha Macro GPT now so you can see how it works. It's very simple. You click here to get started. And it's going to ask you a very simple question. Don't screw this up. It wants to know, are you male or female? ChatGPT is kind of woke. And so just be straight up with it. Are you male or you're female? No funny business in between. Next question, what is your current weight in pounds or kilograms? I just reached my goal weight of 200 pounds today, proud to say. Next question, what's your height? I'm 5'9". I wish I could say I was 5'10", but I'm not. My age is 45, so you got to put in your age, don't lie. Now this question gets a little confusing. A lot of people want to know, well, am I lightly, moderate, or very active? Now most people that are here, you are probably not completely sedentary, though you may be, and if you are, be honest about that. Are you lightly active? Well, light exercise, sports 1 to 3 days a week. There's a good chance that if you're not training yet, that's probably where you're at. But if you're working out a few times a week and you're walking 10,000 steps a day, you're more than likely moderately active. Even though your workouts are hard, if you're doing like a basic routine, 3 to 4 workouts a week, and you're walking a bunch, you're probably moderate. Now, if you're like a professional athlete, you're probably very active. And if you are like pumping oil at the oil mill all day or something like that, working in a coal mine, then you're probably super active. So we're just gonna go ahead with moderately active. I'm gonna copy and paste. It's gonna ask, do you want a moderate deficit, aggressive deficit, or do you want to maintain? And I would suggest that most of you, if you have more than 20 pounds to lose, if you got 40, 60, 80, 100 pounds to lose, take your time, go slow. Don't go too aggressive right out the gate. I think most people need to start with a moderate deficit. Allow that to be your starting place and adjust if you need to. If you're getting right down to the last few bits of fat and you want to push it to the limit so that you can reach your final phase, then maybe you want to go with the aggressive. But most people are going to want to start with the moderate. Now, when it comes to maintenance, my suggestion is, depending on how much weight you got to lose, every 8 to 12 weeks, it would be good to go into maintenance calories, taking a diet break. A diet break doesn't mean you throw your diet out the window and start eating Ho-Hos, Kit Kats, and Jack in the Box. It means you go to your maintenance calories and you relax your diet for a little bit. So this is something that you'll do when you're into maybe 3 months into your diet and you need to take a break so that you don't have what they call metabolic adaptation. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna choose moderate deficit. The first thing it does is it gives me my basal metabolic rate, or BMR, based on the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation for men. And so once it does its mathematical magic, which I'm happy I don't have to learn, and my 9th grade math teacher, you can go kick rocks. It gives me my basal metabolic rate. And so your basal metabolic rate is basically the amount of calories you need to eat to be a functional human being, even if you don't do anything. Like if you're just sitting around all day, totally sedentary, maybe just laying around watching TV, in order for your organs to work so you don't have organ failure, in order for your hair to stay in your head so you don't start losing hair, in order for your nails not to drop out and for you to stop having your period, you want to meet your basal metabolic rate. You never want to go below your basal metabolic rate. Then it estimates my total daily energy expenditure. Based on the fact that I'm moderately active, it chooses the multiplier for me. I didn't make this up. This is based off of science, fellas. 1.5. So it takes the BMR times 1.5. And that gives me 2,763 calories, round up to 2,764. This is based on just maintaining. So if I was just gonna maintain doing the things that I do every day, doing my workouts, doing my 10,000 steps, it would require me to eat 2,764 calories a day. But I'm not trying to maintain, I'm still trying to cut. So if I'm gonna do a moderate calorie deficit of 15%. By the way, if you choose aggressive, it's going to be a 25%. But because we are just doing a moderate, it's a 15%. So it takes that number and it minuses. So it takes your TDDE, right? And it takes away a 15% deficit. And ultimately it brings us to 2,350. I'm happy I don't have to do math. I don't have to think about it, and neither do you. That's what it is. If I eat 2,350 calories a day, every day for the next 2 weeks, I will lose between 1 pound and 2 pounds a week, and so will you, depending on your numbers. So it's going to tell me right now, this is your starting point for fat loss. Would you like me to determine your macronutrient breakdown? You want it to do this for sure, because you want to know how many grams of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins you want to punch into the app that you're going to be tracking your calories. I'll talk to you about that in another video, but we use the Macros First app inside Alpha School. You can learn all about that in Alpha School. But I gave it 2 options. I give you 2 options. The first option is, would you like it to calculate it based on your metabolic typing assessment? Your metabolic type is essentially let me pull it up for you real quick. But before I do that, it's either you want to do a metabolic typing assessment to figure out what the unique macronutrient ratio for you would best be based on the theory of metabolic typing. Or you could just choose B, which is a standard 40-30-30 protein carbohydrate breakdown. So what is metabolic typing? Really quick, let me walk you through it. I think I have it on here. So metabolic typing is a dietary theory that suggests people have different metabolic types, which influence how they process food and nutrients. It emerged in the early 20th century with Dr. Weston Price, and he observed that traditional diets varied significantly worldwide, each adapted to local resources. Later, Dr. William Kelly and Dr. Roger Williams explained this concept. They suggested that individual biochemical chemistry affects the health and understanding of one's unique physiology that could optimize diet. Basically, we're all different based on where we came from on the planet. That would make sense, right? And so the science behind metabolic typing is rooted in the idea that people have different autonomic nervous systems, oxidative rates, and endocrine functions. Your hormones are different. We're all different, which together affects how they metabolize fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. The main types are typically classified as protein types, carbohydrate types, or mixed types. Each benefit from different nutrient ratios. For example, someone who's a faster oxidative type may require more proteins and fats to feel energized, whereas slower oxidizers might function better on higher carb diets. So we're all different. Anybody who's giving you a standard macronutrient breakdown, they're not considering the theory, I guess they call it a theory because it's just not proven yet, of metabolic typing, but it makes sense to me. Knowing your metabolic type can be beneficial because it enables a more personalized approach to nutrition, potentially helping with energy levels, digestion, mood, and weight management. And you know this is true because if you eat too much sugar and you're a fast oxidizer, you're going to feel lightheaded and crazy. By aligning your dietary choices with one's metabolic type, individuals may find it easier to maintain healthy weight and feel more balanced in their dietary lives. However, it's important to note that while metabolic typing has its advocates, scientific evidence supporting its efficacy is mixed and is often seen as one tool amongst many in personalized nutrition. I like it, and that's why I put it in here, but I also made it so that it's optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if you want to do it, you could type A, and we're going to walk through it right now. If you don't want to see it, you can speed up this video. So the very first question is going to ask, I sleep best when A, I get 1 to 2 hours, or I eat 1 to 2 hours before going to sleep. I eat as much as I want, or I eat as much as 3 or 4 hours before going to sleep. I can eat right before the sleep, and I can go to bed and feel great. I can eat a giant meal and go to sleep and feel fine. I sleep best if my dinner is composed of mainly meat with some vegetables and some carbohydrates. Or I sleep best when my dinner is composed mainly of vegetables and other carbohydrates and comparatively small servings of meat. I sleep best with heavy meals on my stomach. Question number 3, I sleep best and wake up feeling most rested if I don't eat sweets like dessert, cakes, candy, or cookie. If I eat a rich dessert that is not overly sweet, such as high quality full fat ice cream, I tend to sleep okay. Or B, occasionally eat sweet desserts without affecting my sleep. I feel best. I could eat sweets before bed and I'm usually pretty fine too. Question number 4, after vigorous exercise, I tend to crave foods or drinks with higher protein and fat, or foods with higher carbohydrates like Gatorade. So either protein shakes or Gatorade or fruit. What do you feel better? I feel better with an A, fat and protein. In order to last 4 hours between meals and maintain mental clarity and a sense of well-being, I prefer to eat A, a meal predominantly meat-based, high in protein and fat with carbohydrate as a supplement, or B, a meal predominantly carbohydrate-based such as salad or vegetables with some bread and some small amount of protein. I'm gonna go with A. That's how I feel best. Don't just give my answer, give your answer. Be honest about how you feel. Number 6, which best describes your reaction to sugar or sweet foods such as jelly donuts, candy, or sweetened drinks? I get a rush of energy, may feel jittery and good for a short time, but then I experience blood sugar crash, needing more food to normalize myself. Or B, I do quite well on sweet things and don't seem to be negatively affected, though I know too much is not good for me. I'm gonna go with A. I feel great for while I'm eating it, and I feel like crap 5 minutes later. Question number 7, my body shape is closest to A, a mesomorph, or V shape, like a typical wrestler, gymnast, or weightlifter, or an endomorph, naturally round but strong, responding well to anaerobic sports or strength training, or B, ectomorph, long and lean with a rower or triathlete, or endomorphic, naturally round shape, but responding better to endurance athletes than to strength training. Me, I'm a mesomorph for sure. Which statement best describes your disposition toward food in general? I love food and live to eat, or B, I'm not fussed over food in general and eat to live. I love food. In general, I prefer to salt my food most of the time. B, to taste my food and apply salt once in a while. I'm not particularly attracted to salty foods. I put salt on everything, even my water. 10, instinctually, I prefer to eat dark meat, such as chicken or turkey legs and thighs, or light meat, such as chicken and turkey breast. Instinctually, I love that dark meat. Which list of fish most appeals to your taste without concern for calories or fat content? Anchovies, caviar, herring, mussels, sardines, alboni, clams, crab, crayfish, lobster, mackerel, octopus, oyster, salmon, scallops, shrimp, snail, squid, tuna. Dark meat. Or B, light fish like catfish, cod, flounder, haddock, perch, scrod, skull, trout, tuna, turbot. I love sardines and I love salmons and scallops. I'm gonna go with A. When eating dairy products, do you feel best after eating rich, full-fat yogurts or cheeses and desserts, or lighter, low-fat yogurts, cheeses and desserts? Me is absolutely an A. With regard to snacking, do you tend to do better with snacks between meals? tend to last between meals easily in general. If I could eat all day, I would eat all day, but I feel like. And number 14, last question. Which characteristic best describe you? A, creative, digest food well in general, have a strong immune system, don't get sick often, have an appetite for proteins, feel good when I'm eating fats or fatty foods, more muscular or inclined to gain muscle or strength easily. Or B, logical, more lithe of build, tend to be sensitive or to temperature changes in the flu season, wouldn't consider your immune system strong, prefer light meats and lower fats, inclined towards endurance athletics. I'm an A for sure, bro. Thank you for completing your questionnaire. They're gonna tally it up. I gave 13 A's, 1 B. That means I'm a protein type. Macronutrient percentage for protein types. Typically, macronutrients breakdown for protein types is gonna be 40% protein, 30% fat, 30% carbohydrates. Is that written in stone? No, but it's a good starting place. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the calories and I'm gonna take my grams of protein, 235, grams of fat, 78 a day, and carbohydrates. I'm gonna punch it into the Macros First app, and I'm gonna meet those macros every day. I'll do a video on Macros First another time. Then it's gonna ask you, would you like me to generate a sample meal plan based on these macros using the vertical diet guidelines? Now, I chose the vertical diet guidelines because the vertical diet is just basic fucking food. It's beef and chicken and rice and vegetables and fruit, right? I like the vertical diet, not because there's anything special about it. I like it because it's basic. So I'm gonna say yes. So here's a sample meal plan based on my 2,350 calories. And here we have it. Breakfast, got me eating some eggs, egg whites, some oats, ghee, butter, spinach, very basic foods. I don't eat too much ghee, but I eat butter. Bison, some almonds for my snack. Lunch, salmon, white rice, spinach, basic. Cup of yogurt and a half an orange, basic. Dinner, bison or lean steak, sweet potato, spinach, basic. And it comes out to pretty damn close, slightly rounded up, meet all my macros, boom. So prepare these meals using grilling, baking, or steam for protein and vegetables. Boil or break, just giving you some advice. And adjust salt to your taste, vertical diet, use Redmond salt, just giving you some feedback and some information based on what you would learn if you studied Stan Efferding's work and the vertical diet, which is great. And then it will ask you, would you like to customize further or provide additional tips for prepping these meals? This is why this is so much better than your typical calorie calculator. It's not going to continue to help you. I'm going to stop this video now because it's been long enough, but you can continue to have a conversation with Alpha Macro GPT by Elliot Hulse, and it's going to give you all the answers you need based on real legit science and the information that I placed inside the brain of Alpha Macro GPT. Make sure you go to Alpha School, alphaschool.ai, go into the classroom. You could do Alpha Trainer DIY. You can get it, introduce yourself inside the community. We got 1,300 members right now. It's a great place to be. I'll see you on the inside.